Stop debugging cryptic iOS signing errors by understanding the three required components. The signing certificate identifies your developer identity or organization to Apple. This certificate is useless without the corresponding private key, which must reside locally within your macOS Keychain Access application. The third component is the provisioning profile, an extensible markup language file downloaded directly from the Apple Developer Portal. This profile acts as the central link, binding your specific signing certificate, the application's unique app identifier, and the list of authorized testing devices. Crucially, the profile also contains the necessary entitlements and permissions, allowing your application to execute specific features or be submitted to the App Store. If the certificate, the private key, or the provisioning profile are mismatched, expired, or missing, the entire signing process will fail immediately. Mastering this hierarchy is the only way to deploy reliably. To generate a signing certificate, you must first create a certificate signing request, or CSR, using the macOS Keychain Access utility. Open Keychain Access, navigate to the Certificate Assistant menu, and select Request a Certificate from a certificate authority. You must specify your user email address and a common name for identification purposes. Select the Save to Disk option to generate the .cert signing request file locally. Upload this generated CSR file directly to the Apple Developer Portal under Certificates, Identifiers, and Profiles. Apple then issues the developer or distribution certificate, which is a .cer file. Double-clicking this downloaded .cer file installs the public key into Keychain Access, automatically pairing it with the private key that was generated locally during the CSR creation. If you need to share this signing identity across multiple development machines, the private key must be explicitly marked as exportable. iOS uses two types of app identifiers. Explicit app identifiers use a specific bundle identifier, such as com.company.appname, and are mandatory for applications requiring specific entitlements. Wildcard app identifiers, using a format like com.company.**, can sign multiple applications but are strictly forbidden from supporting services like push notifications, iCloud, or wallet capabilities. To register a new app identifier, navigate to the Identifiers section in the Developer Portal. During registration, you must explicitly enable all required services, known as entitlements, by checking the corresponding boxes. If an entitlement is not enabled here, the subsequent provisioning profile will not grant the necessary runtime permissions. This omission will lead directly to feature failure or application crashes when the service is called on the device. Development and ad hoc provisioning profiles require the explicit registration of testing devices using their unique device identifiers, or UDIDs. To obtain the UDID, connect the device to Xcode, navigate to Window, then Devices and Simulators, and copy the identifier string displayed there. Alternatively, use Finder or iTunes to view the device summary and click on the serial number field to reveal the UDID. In the Developer Portal, navigate to the Devices section. You can upload a list of UDIDs via our comma-separated values file or add them individually. Devices must be registered and active in the portal before they can be selected for inclusion in any development profile. An unregistered device attempting to run a development build will fail, resulting in the error message of valid provisioning profile for this executable was not found. To create a development provisioning profile, you must select three components: the appropriate development certificate, the explicit app identifier, and the list of registered testing devices. The profile links these three components, authorizing the specific application defined by the app identifier to run on the listed devices using the developer's identity provided by the certificate. Ensure the profile type is set specifically to iOS app development. Once generated, download the .mobile provision file. Dragging this file onto the Xcode icon installs it automatically into the system library. Alternatively, manually place the file in the directory User Library Mobile Device Provisioning Profiles. Verify the profile installation by checking Xcode's preferences under Accounts, then Details, where the profile status must show as valid. Distribution profiles are used exclusively for deployment outside of the immediate development environment. Ad hoc profiles facilitate distribution to a limited set of registered devices, typically for external beta testing without utilizing Apple's test flight service. Ad hoc profiles are strictly limited to 100 devices per year. App Store profiles are required solely for submission to Apple for review and subsequent public release. These profiles do not contain any device lists. Crucially, the distribution certificate, which is separate from the development certificate, must be selected when creating both ad hoc and App Store profiles. Always ensure the correct distribution certificate is installed and paired with its private key in keychain access before attempting to generate the distribution profile. Xcode offers two configuration methods: automatic signing versus manual signing. Automatic signing handles certificate and profile creation and renewal based on the selected team, simplifying the initial setup but often obscuring underlying configuration issues. Manual signing requires the developer to explicitly select the code signing identity, meaning the certificate, and the specific provisioning profile within the build settings. When troubleshooting complex signing failures, you must switch to manual signing to isolate whether the issue lies with the profile itself or with Xcode's automated management logic. Manual configuration ensures the developer controls exactly which certificate and profile are used for the build process, overriding Xcode's attempts to repair or regenerate signing assets automatically. Let us address the most frequent signing errors encountered during deployment. The error "no matching provisioning profile" found indicates that the selected profile does not match the bundle identifier or the required entitlements of the target application. To fix this, verify that the bundle identifier in Xcode's general settings matches the app identifier in the portal exactly. The error "valid signing identity not found" means the private key corresponding to the certificate is missing from the local keychain access. Resolve this by exporting the developer profile and private key from the original machine as a .p12 file and importing it onto the current machine. If the profile is expired, delete the profile from the portal immediately and regenerate a new one linked to a valid certificate. Certificates expire after 1 year. Provisioning profiles expire when the linked certificate expires or after 1 year, whichever occurs first. Revoking a certificate immediately invalidates all associated profiles, preventing further application signing until a new certificate is created and new profiles are generated. Revocation is necessary if a private key is compromised or if the certificate limit, typically 2 per type, has been reached. To renew, generate a new certificate signing request and upload it to the portal to create a new certificate. Always download and install the renewed certificate first, and then regenerate all affected provisioning profiles to ensure they link correctly to the new valid certificate.